welcome to Sandy's Left-Handed Crafts. This is part 2 of the Christmas purses that I'm putting together. This is not an original idea of my brain, but the Posh Paper Lady. She's known for her beautiful blue nails. She is the one that came up with the designs for these. I am just putting the twist on it of using the Close to My Heart papers that are double-sided, so you don't have to do all her extra work of creating your own double-sided papers. So this is bag 2. This is my pattern for bag 2, and what you'll see here is that there are some score lines, and you'll notice this is not square. It is not made out of a 12 by 12. It's actually got a 10-inch side on one side. So we have to trim down the paper. So here we go again. I get out my trimmer. I first cut off my zip strip. Then I need 10 inches, not 12, so I can take 2 inches off of this. So I line it up with the 10. And I cut. So there's a 2-inch piece that could be used for decorating something else, or it could be part of your straps that you're using to make your purse also. But for this purse, you're going to need 1.5 piece by 12 inches. And so I've already cut that and scored it a 1/2 inch on either side. And so we will fold that to make our handle of our purse. I think that's all of the trimming at this point. I'm going to bring up my scoreboard again. And I'm going to be scoring, if you look, on my 12-inch side. On the 12-inch side. And the thing that's different about this one is there's going to be a flap that folds up and over and closes like a purse. And so that's why things are adjusted as they are. So this bag is going to be 6 inches wide by 4 inches high and 2 inches deep. So what you do is you're on your 12-inch side, and you're going to use your bone folder or whatever, your scoring tool, and you're going to score at 4 inches. And then, so that's the front of your bag. Then you go 6 inches. That's the bottom of your bag. Then you're going to have to go 4 more inches. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. That gets us at 10 inches. We score. And then we need a little flap on the top. So that's going to be, all right, I'm just going to flip this over because I don't know what it is. But I know my flap is like, you want like a 1/2 inch. So, well, let's see, what did she do? She did 10 and 5/8. That's what she did. So here's the 10, and then she went to 5/8. So just one more notch over a 1/2 is 5/8. And then this will be your flap that will cover the front. Then we flip it to our 10-inch side. And just like the other one, we're doing the 2-inch depth. So we want to do 2 inches on this side 2 inches. After I've rotated 180 degrees, 2 inches on this side. So, still a very simple design. All of my chicken scratch tells me how to cut to get the proper layout for the purse. So what we're going to do is, again, get out my fancy little finger blade, and we're going to start cutting this down. Now remember, this is the front of your bag. Do you think we should put the flowers on the inside or the green on the inside? I think this will. It's a purse, but I think we're gonna put the flowers on the inside to make it look more Christmassy. So we just fold and burnish our score marks so we know what we're working with. There and there. And I just almost cut myself with this blade because I'm still learning to use it. Again, like I told you earlier, it's now 3:38 in the morning, and I'm doing some midnight crafting because it's the only time my house is quiet. So we folded that up. Now we find our bottom of our purse, and just like we did on the previous purse, we need to cut and make a tab. So cut straight on the mark first, okay, and then angle just slightly. It's going to cut down on the bulk, and it'll make the paper lay much nicer if you do it this way. Cut straight, or as straight as you can at 3:20 in the morning. And you turn it and do it again on this side. I will admit, I think I make my videos more for the beginning crafter. So if you know what you're doing with all this cutting and scoring, you might want to speed up this video so that it doesn't take so long to watch. Now up here, when we have our flap, we want to cut this apart. So stick there with the line, pull it out, do it on the same side, the same way. Now this part, the top flap of the purse, to strengthen it just a little, I am going to make a little design change. I told you, I like directions, but sometimes I just don't follow them. Okay? I found that the flap just felt a little too flimsy. So that's why I'm leaving this extra piece here to fold over. And this is going to be a little tab, so you can reduce it and then make your couple little triangles, 1 and 2. When your babies are young, sometimes midnight crafting is the only thing you can do. But my babies aren't young. Mine are, I have a 20-year-old daughter and a 16-year-old son. And they are both sleeping. But I don't know why, but we're very loud people. I think it's because my husband has issues with wax in his ears. And me, it might be because I like my music loud, so I talk above it a lot. But anyway, sometimes it gets a little loud. Okay, this is going, when you fold up this bag, this flap is going to come over the front. So this here, I don't want my seam in the front of my bag. So this is the front flaps. So now we're going to reduce this flap. Okay? It will all make sense when you try it yourself. So I've got it all cut down, and if you look at my design, you'll see this is all full. Oh, I didn't cut down these tabs. This is why I make a pattern. It helps remind me what I need to do. So, and then I got these little tabs here, and this is my front flap. And I believe this will turn into our purse bag. So this one I'm going to try with glue instead of the adhesive, so you can see that there are many ways that you can do this. And this one here, to help strengthen the bottom of this purse, I am going to just glue this down. And ooh, look at me with my glue. Shame on me. And nothing to wipe with is close. So we do our finger. Okay? Put it on the other side because we're going to add some glue to it. Less is more with art glitter glue. So there you go. And these little flaps here, I want to stick them down. And here, see, just a little bit does a lot. So there's that. You also want to glue in these little flaps. So one there, a little drop of glue there, and that's going to hold that into place. Now what we have to do is fold our bag up to make our bag. So it looks kind of funny right now, doesn't it? But let's get it glued together and see if I did it right. Okay? So we're going to put glue on this flap. And we're going to put glue on this flap. And here's the tricky part, is folding it up and then folding this down and lining up your edges so that they look clean and professional. See the edge there? Got to do it again over here. So I line it up. There's there, and there's there. Now see, right now it looks kind of funky, right? So what we do is we open up our purse and we do that fold thing we did with the first one. This one we might go a little deeper with our fold because it's more of a purse. So once you fold it, then when you bring your front down, it will look like this. Now, that looks kind of plain, but with just a little bit of, where's my, okay, those are the purse straps. I'm looking for something that's about the length of the front, and I'm not finding it. So, I'm going to go to a little piece of scrap, and I want to make a little strip, but you know what? I kind of want to make a bigger strip. I'm going to make a bigger strip because I want some of this floral design. So this is where, you know, when you're decorating, you can do whatever you want. That's what's nice about crafting. So this flap is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches long. So we're gonna take our trimmer, okay, and we're gonna line it up here. Now if you go just a little bit more, that's gonna help you with trimming edges and making sure they meet up nice. Now, here's the fun part. We want approximately, let's say, 2.5 inches of flap. Okay? And yeah, I'm getting fancy now. I'm getting fancy. Are you ready for this? So, I'm going to take my glue. I'm going to run it here on this flap. Okay? And then I'm going to use that score line to line up my decorative paper. And get it nice and straight. I don't recommend going over the score line because we have to bend it there. And you don't want to bend the two pieces of paper together. So, we have this funky little flap. Now, isn't that cute? I like it. I like it a lot. So, I'm going to press it. And if you see, there's just a little hanging over because I made a little bigger than 6 inches because I want to use my finger blade to carefully trim it off and make sure it covers the whole flap that I had there. And I'm doing it to this side also. And I'm not being very careful at the ends because I'm going to pull out another fancy little tool called the corner rounder. Mine's very old. It's from Creative Memories. I've had it for over 20 years. So we'll see if it will cut. But if it doesn't cut, I'll show you how to fix it. But see how we just rounded that corner a little bit? It's the little things that you do to make it yours. And see here, my corner rounder's old, so there's a little bit of a thing there. I'm going to trim that off. And look at how that makes that flap much sturdier. And the reason you want it a little sturdier is because you're going to use, from the dollar store, you can get these little adhesive fastener dots, is what they call them. But I think you'll recognize them as Velcro. But Velcro is a specific company, so they call them adhesive fasteners. So what you're going to do, and there's already self-adhesive, so you're going to pick your spot of where you want your fastener, peel off the one side. Now you can get fancy or you can just kind of look. So that's why I have this grid under here. 3 inches. Right here is the center. I kind of want it up just a little bit. And then I remove the adhesive. And then I gently and precisely close the purse. That should stick it down. Pull it apart, and that way you know it's always lined up. use your bone folder or whatever you've got. You can use a ruler, you can use scissors, you can use whatever. But you're just pressing that down to make sure that it's not going to come off. And that is how you add your fastener. That makes it into a little purse. Then what we do is we take that 1.5-inch strip of paper, and do you think I should put the flowers on the outside or the green on the outside? And I think the flowers should be on the outside because it's gonna be on the design, and I think it'll show nicely. So what we do is we start to fold it. Fold, and we fold this side, and that lays over pretty well. So then we start our glue. We add glue primarily to the middle, but go on each side a little, goes a long way. So and we bring this in and we fold, you know, pressing our glue around, distributing it evenly in our strip. There we go. Now we're going to get fancy, or a little fancy. Use my 1-inch block as a guide, and I am going to push this up to fold it so that I get my tab properly for gluing this on. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Didn't know a stamping block could be such a handy little tool, right? I love the little thing. So there is my purse. Now what I want to do is use my bone folder, and you know, that seam shows there, so I really want to bend that the opposite way. You can do it because it's kind of wet from the glue still. And then what you want to do is use your bone folder and start adding a curve to it. Just a slight curve. And then what you're going to do is you bring your purse in, you put a little glue on this side and a little glue on this side, and then that little piece I had showing, you can put there and there. That brings your handle in a little bit. And what am I going to do on this flap to help secure this handle properly? Oh yeah, don't forget the little brass fasteners. You just need a couple. And you can get fancy with the brass fasteners, or you can be just as plain as I am and just get the, I mean, I've had these for years. I think when I was homeschooling my kids, they sent me these as part of the curriculum or something we were supposed to do, and we definitely did not use them all, and they've been in my stash. My husband thinks he knows I am not a hoarder, but I do have a problem with stashing things away. So this is part of my stash. Some days I feel like I could be on the hoarders show, but then I watch it and I think, oh no, I'm not that bad. And I think it's gonna be okay. So again, we're centering this dot where we want our hole, and we squeeze, and ta-da, we have our holes. We insert our brads as such. Doesn't want to go through, but there it goes. And then you open it up. And you do the same on this side. Use a little brad. And you push it through the hole. The hole is really just to get you started. The brad makes its own way through the paper. And there you go. You have a little purse with a cute little handle. And you can decorate it any way you want, you know. So, but that's the basics of the little purse bag. I'm going to pause and then we'll do the tall boy and it will be all done. Can you believe it?